continents tonight, storms of politics, clashes of climate, and moments of human triumph. From Spain's sudden political quake to India's golden victory on the cricket field. The headlines show power tested, promises challenged, and people defining resilience. This is the global news update on top Accolade News. The headlines. Spain's conservative leader in Valencia resigns. ExxonMobil warns of EU exit. Brazil kicks off COP30 events. Thailand and Cambodia begin war withdrawal. First to Europe, where a storm of water has become a storm of accountability. Valencia's regional president Carlos Mason resigned on Monday amid mounting outrage over his handling of last year's catastrophic flood that left 229 dead and caused billions in damage. Facing pressure from victims' families and critics accusing him of late warnings and failed mitigation, Mason admitted mistakes but blamed Spain's central government and weather agencies for poor coordination. His exit leaves Valencia's political future uncertain. A storm of water has become a storm of accountability. From Europe's political flow to an energy giant threatening to abandon the continent, ExxonMobil CEO Darren Woods warned the energy giant may quit Europe if the EU enforces its corporate sustainability due diligence directive, which could fine firms up to 5% of global revenue for environmental or human rights lapses. The law, still under negotiation, would force companies to align operations worldwide with the Paris Agreement's 1.5 degrees Celsius target, a move Woods called technically unfeasible. Qatar joined in rejecting the measure, warning of possible LNG supply cuts to Europe. As climate ideals clash with industrial realities, Europe risks greening itself out of business. Now turning to the global stage where climate talks hits up. Brazil on Monday opened 3 weeks of pre-COP30 events in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro to showcase continued global commitment to climate action despite waning momentum and economic strain. Business groups representing 100,000 companies urged government to boost renewable energy incentives, while protests and law attendance threaten to overshadow the efforts. With world leaders hesitant and cooperation faltering, Brazil's Amazon-hosted summit stands as a reminder that the planet won't wait for politics to catch up. To the grinding work of peace, Thailand and Cambodia have started withdrawing heavy weapons and clearing landmines along their tense border under a new ceasefire agreement signed in Kuala Lumpur with U.S President Donald Trump present. The move follows a 5-day conflict in July that killed 48 people and displaced thousands. Thai officials says they will hold off reopening border checkpoints or releasing Cambodian soldiers until full compliance is verified. After months of blood and blame, both nations now face the hardest battle, keeping the peace. You're watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Staying in international waters, U.S. President Donald Trump claimed that China's Xi Jinping assured him in Beijing that he would not attempt to reunify Taiwan by force while he was in office, citing known consequences if it did. China's embassy in Washington reaffirmed that Taiwan remains an inseparable part of China, calling it a purely internal matter, while U.S. policy under the Taiwan Relations Act ensures self-defense capabilities. It stops short of guaranteeing military intervention. The uneasy calm endures a balance of power held not by peace, but by deterrence. Now to the Middle East. Israel has verified that the remains handed over by Hamas belong to 3 soldiers abducted during the October 7, 2023 attacks. The exchange, part of a U.S.-brokered Gaza ceasefire, has so far seen Hamas release 20 living hostages and return 20 bodies. Both sides accuse each other of delays as efforts continue under Red Cross mediation. In Gaza's shifting sands of truce and grief, even the dead are part of the negotiations. Lightening the lens to Hollywood's courtroom drama. A U.S. federal court has formally dismissed Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively after the Eat and With Us actor failed to amend his claims before the court's deadline. The ruling leaves Lively's own harassment case against Baldoni still active. Once billed as Hollywood power clash, the feud has now turned to a one-sided legal finale. In showbiz, deadlines can end more than careers. And wrapping with triumph on the pitch, India's women's cricket team clinched their first ever World Cup title, defeating South Africa by 52 runs in Navi Mumbai, sparking nationwide jubilation led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The victory marked a long-awaited breakthrough for women's cricket. From heartbreak to history, India's women have rewritten the nation's cricket story. From power to protests, from triumph on the field to trials in the courts, tonight's story reminds us that leadership in every form is tested not by victory, but by accountability. For Top Accolade News, I'm Ojo Romeo Kocha. Do have a wonderful day and keep watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News.